All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to P2G Presents Black Girls in Web 3. Loving it, loving it. I'm one of your hosts, Miss Ruby, in the house with my ladies here, my girls in the house. Give you a little bit of Dazzle D up in here, salty coffee. Let's let them say hello. Hi, ladies.
Hi, Miss Ruby, and everyone who's listening. Hey, Dazzle.
Hey, everybody.
That's what's up. So we are excited because we've been putting together a bit of an organization for y'all called Black Girls Do Web 3 in Web 3. Sponsored by the Black Girls Do Crypto. And I'm really excited because I get to hang out with my girls and we don't just chat and talk. We move the world. Because what did Beyonce say? Who run the world?
Girls,
Who run the world?
girls.
That's what we gotta do. We gotta do it. So let's not talk
Absolutely.
about it. I don't want to talk about it no more. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
We've been
And
doing it. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know. And so what I want to do is I want to make sure everyone is very clear that running the world requires planning and activities, skills, and pulling together and pulling together skill sets. So that's what we did. We got together, me and my girls, who got some mad skills out here, to find other women to build big things with. But first, we got to know what's going on. What's the opportunities? So let's get a little bit somewhat to know about who each of us is. And tonight, I get to present my girls. All right. Y'all know Miss Ruby love this. I love this. So tonight, we're going to go with Miss Dazzle D up in the house. She's going to share a little bit about who she is. Thank you.
My name is Dazzle Daniels, and I am a serial entrepreneur, success strategist, and digital asset investor. Best way to sum it up is if there's some money to be made, I know how to make it. I'm a monetization specialist and co-founder of the Winners Tribe, which is a hub for making money online resources.
Awesome.
I love it. It says, what Daz do? That's actually her website, y'all. Whatdazzdo.club. So make sure you reach out and you check out this chick up in here because she's gonna put it down. Like she said, she is she's not just resources, but that woman is an income specialist. It's time to get it popping. That's what I'm talking about. And here we are. We have our sister Salty Coffee in the house. Go for it, girlie.
Hola, ¿cómo están mis amigas, mis hermanas? Hi, how's everyone doing today? I am Wanda, also known as Salty Coffee. I host a podcast that started in 2020. And what I talk about in my podcast is traditional, you know, investments because I'm a 9 to 5 for 34 years. So I want to bring in a lot of conversations about what it means to be a 9 to 5er and now transitioning into retirement with learning everything that P2G Networks has to offer, including investments.
Child, thank you so much for that. I know there's a whole group of people with your name on it. Trying to wait. They're like, where's she at? Where's she at? I heard she was on the Black Girls in White.
Very much needed.
That's what's up. Look, I got in this game because I'm not any I'm not any different. I'm one of those ladies who realized I wanted to make more money than I could make at my job. And then when I realized that I was funding that dream, once I learned about a little bit about this money and this crypto spot, my paycheck became a whole new gem. I was happy to go to work.
And can you imagine? Could you imagine having both?
Yes, I do.
You could do both.
I do imagine that for so many more people than me. And it's so amazing because I'm okay. So my name is Ruby Thomas. For those who might be new, I know a lot of y'all know me from around the way, around our programs and everything. And I put up all this stuff in your face all the time. So you might get tired of seeing that, but you'll never get tired of making money with me and my friends. I can guarantee you that. So I am one of the founders of a platform called P2G Networks.com. P2G networks.com is a place where we are we're a combined hub for networks. So it's a network of networks where all of the resources, it's like you and your friends get together, and all their friends are in the same place as you, and their friends are in the same place as them. And so we've been intermingling with each other, and we keep introducing each other to big projects, and I just love it. But it's all, instead of with conversation only, it's with money. Everybody's teaching each other how to build finances and grow themselves and grow internally new knowledge with new steps in life. Ain't that? I think that's a great place to be. So I decided I wanted to found that like 5 years ago. I wanted to sit down with some folks and ask them who they was and start building this thing. Now, I didn't know where the heck it was going to go, but we created a network of amazing folks that they see that they've been able to get on the other side of the wealth gap. And I'm really excited. They're on the other side of the wealth gap and they're growing. They saw where the world was headed and they took action. And they decided that they would go back and help those who were willing to help themselves. And that's where you meet at P2G. All of these ladies are on there and way, way more. Now, we looking for you, ladies. We looking for you, gentlemen. All of y'all, sisters and brothers. We looking for y'all. So you better come on out here because we got a lot of our conversations that lead to some big things. Let's get it popping. Now, ladies, I know that people don't know what the heck some Black girls do. Web3 is. Well, what the heck is it? We talked about P2G, but what does Black girls do Web3 for y'all? We'll start with Salty Coffee this time.
Black girls do Web3 for me is getting people with like-minded ideas and what we've been through in life as women, to bring in the mindset of the new changes in our global economic system, pretty much. To introduce to people who are so stuck in traditional ways of doing things, have been indoctrinated in doing things traditionally, into the new global system and how it's going to function. Within everything we do today, you have internet. You have to use AI. You have to, I mean, there's just no way getting out of it. Even if you're in the jungle, people have to connect, right, to the outside world to know what's going on in the jungle. So for me, that is what Web3 represents, and just sharing my experiences as a 54-year-old woman and learning that no matter what age you are, who you are, where you're from, just give you a perspective of that you can do it. You know, and that's what my podcast is really about, sharing that information, the transitioning. Because, you know, we talk about menopause and we talk about, you know, what women go through on a day-to-day.
Right.
But could you imagine having conversations with other women and how they're doing it in their country and in their world? That's what Web3 means to me.
I love it. That connectivity. I love that. Now, D, thank you, Miss Salty Coffee. I love it.
So, Black Girls Do Web3 to me is a platform where we can have conversations of what people don't know. You don't know what you don't know, and exposure is everything, right? I just remember coming into this space and how astonished I was at the possibilities. And fast forward to today, there's way more possibilities, and there's way more people who don't know about these possibilities in ways that we can, you know, bridge that wealth gap and go to the next level as a whole. So it's a place for women and families. We can come together, have these conversations, see what's out there and what's available to us, see what's working in real world, everyday life application. I think that's like the most important, is learning how to apply these things in our everyday regular life and being able to hear those who are doing it. So that's what it means to me, is the exposure of possibility in this area.
Child, thank you so much. And she said my magic word, possibility. I love that word, possibility. And exposure is amazing, because I realized that you know, we're gonna share a bit about our stories in a minute, but I'm gonna share something with you all. I didn't always know how to do this. I didn't always know how money worked, you know. I didn't have that. I wasn't brought up talking about money. Oh, wait. I'm gonna show you. I'm a liar because we did talk about money. Just didn't have anything good going on with it. I just let you know right now. All that conversation wasn't really positive. So with that, at some point in my life, as an older woman, I had realized I wanted more for myself, not just my kids. I gave all my life to my kids and my husband. That's who we are as mothers. And as women, we give full to all the causes we believe in. And very late, it takes a little while for us to learn. So for me, Web3, Black women and Black girls in Web3. Wish we could stop calling it. I think we may have to change the name. Black girls. Oh God. Keep us forever young. But to be a Black girl in Web3 makes a difference because it tells me that we can bridge the gap between learning across the ages. We can get us on one accord where there's no difference between who we are and when we got here on this planet. See, all of that is irrelevant now because if we are not all caught up to this, we all suffer together anyway. A lot of people talk about the generational gaps and this generation telling this generation, but guess what? We're all still in the same pot. And until we start having this is the one thing Web3 does. It takes all of that and kicks it to the irrelevant pile and brings true relevance and conversation and really what can we do to change what can I do to change my circumstances? It answers that. Instead of telling people about what's going to happen, we do things together. We have an opportunity to make something happen. And that's what Black girls in Web3 for us, for me anyway. And I'm excited because we started this a while ago. It had a great theme, but we needed to put some meat into this, give it some teeth. And now we got teeth, y'all. We've got powerful teeth in here. People making it happen. And let's go. We got some questions to answer, ladies. Let's go. Open your mics this time. Who want to be first? Who want to go first?
Well, you know I'm vegan, so I'm meatless right now.
Dang. Look, but you got teeth. Let's make sure we get some teeth in.
I know. I mean, one of the questions that I always ask myself because of my situation when 35 years ago, which will mark on March 31st, will mark 35 years of my mother's passing.
Yes.
One of the things that I want people to understand with our talks is what are you leaving behind? You're leaving behind death to your family, or would you like to leave behind a legacy? And since my mother's death, I've kept it where more of this is my mindset, and I want to leave a legacy behind and not death. So since 35 years ago, when I started working where I work at, that's exactly my goal. And even though I started investing through traditional, the traditional way, I think it's a great opportunity for people like myself to come and listen to these talks because I am going through the transitioning from that investment from 35 years ago into what's the new way of investing. So I'm very fortunate to have found Ms. Ruby and Dazzle and all the people who network together, because I think this is going to be a great way to answer that question for yourself, who's listening and watching. What do you want to leave behind? Do you want to leave behind debt for your family and your loved ones, or do you want to leave a legacy? And what does that mean to you?
Oh, wow. Okay. So, Daz, you want to answer first, or what you want to do? So we're all answering.
So, as far as legacy or debt, I really like the ways that you can leave a legacy on the blockchain. When it comes into this space, you can be so creative. Like I'm just what they call like a hoarder, a memory hoarder. And I've had situations to where like my soul was crushed from losing pictures, that are irreplaceable. I had a recording of my grandmother's voice from her voicemail before she passed. And I didn't know, about that legacy preservation or being able to put those pictures on the blockchain, to be able to solidify, that audio forever, for that generations of my family could be able to see that for time to come. So I'm excited about the way to be able to preserve our history and our legacy that way. And of course, the financial side and not the debt, of course. But I like that the legacy can also be the history as well. So
thank you for that, Daz. You just make me realize I have a couple of recordings of my grandmother, actual live when she was alive. Kind of caught her. Y'all would catch them, and we found them. And I started in Web 2, or I should say in 2D, doing that because we had the same problem. We had a lot of loss in our family where we lost bags of pictures out of relatives, our elder relatives' homes. And so because of who we are at my family, I made a Google Drive. Y'all know me and my Google Drive. Yeah, I know how I feel about my Google share files. I made a Google share file and I went through through relatives, out the relatives that were alive that I could get their pictures, and even the ones I collected from, unfortunately, cleaning up homes of our relatives that passed away. I decided to make them digital, and I'm looking forward to that because you just ran it right through my head. I'm like, oh my God, I want that. I want to preserve my grandmother's video. It's some people can't take it, but I never want to forget it. I never want to forget her laughter. I don't want to forget that we celebrate her birthday, by the way, is the 4th of July. And there's a story to that. My grandmother was born in a time when there were no white, she was in the South, and she couldn't be born in a white hospital. And so couldn't get to on the 4th of July. There was no black doctor. And so black doctors could not sign your birth certificate. So her birth certificate always said the 5th of July. But she got it corrected later because she was born on the 4th of July. She has history in that. That's preservation of history. And I personally thank you because now I get to go and find out what project you got going on, girl. I'm trying to tell y'all don't understand. It's like gold mine here. And I'm really excited about that because for me, legacy is, people keep thinking that generational wealth is money or giving somebody, passing something down. It is the knowledge that you pass to preserve what you've created and to have it preserved after you are gone. That's what we get so caught up in the stuff that we miss the real message. So that's why a lot of our community stays poor and our histories are lost. We don't have any ties to anything. So therefore, we're constantly trying every generation to rebuild something. And in this gives me an opportunity to do just that, to teach debt as part of legacy. I want to teach debt. I am trying to leave you with both. I want you to be in Trump debt. All right. When you get going, when I'm going, I'm going to leave you some Trump debt where it's covered, baby, and it's growing. And all you could do is, you're not spending it on frivolous things. That's what this really means to me. That's what I'm trying to leave people. That kind of freedom that comes with knowing the financial system, and that being the legacy. That where little kids, you talk to them about, UCCs, and they can tell you right off the back of their head what's the UCC 5. Okay, just like we teach the kids, how to spell and count numbers. That's what legacy is for me. That's what I'm trying to leave behind. I don't know about y'all, but I want some legacy of mathematics left behind. Let's get math back in the house. And people go, well, the people can't read. Phonics work with it. I said, we can do phonics. There's ways to get it done. But that's what I'm looking to leave. I want to make sure that I do leave a legacy, that I do leave generational, the real wealth, which is the knowledge, because many people don't have a value for it. If you're watching this program right now, you have a 1-up on almost one out of every 100 in a household. If you ask someone I could give you $10,000 worth of knowledge on how to build $1 million, or just give you the $10,000, which one would you take? Do you know that most people would take the $10,000? I would rather sit with a millionaire. Okay. I'd pay $10,000 to sit with a millionaire that would tell me how to put every step into place. And there are wealthy, very super duper wealthy people who've done that.
$1 in a dream.
That's right. That's the real dollar in a dream. Shoot.
$1 in a dream.
All right. Let's get back on track, ladies. Daz, what's your question? What's the question for tonight?
What does wealth mean to you?
That's right.
Yep.
I did not answer that just now. But Salty Coffee, go ahead. You go first.
You know, when I first learned about the wealth, it's like Miss Ruby said, you know, everybody associates wealth with money and being a millionaire and looking at celebrities and how they live their life. But I also know a lot of people who are wealthy who live very simple, a very simple life, healthy as crazy as can be, very knowledgeable. They understand how systems work. They understand how what works best for their communities. So wealth to me is that understanding what's best for me and my community. And sometimes it's very difficult when you've been indoctrinated in a country and in society that from day one coming out of the hospital, you're like on the inside the box, right? To try to transition people to, even myself, every day is a struggle to try to get off that mindset of, you know, and I have to ask myself every day, why do I do that? Why am I consistently doing this and thinking that, you know, I have to go work that overtime, or that I have to, we really don't have to do anything that we don't want to do, but we do it because we've been indoctrinated to do that. So for me, wealth means the ability to be able to understand yourself, the ability to be able to understand yourself freely, and the options that you have based on the boxes that you've been introduced to, or circles that you've been introduced to, that you never thought you would be sitting at that same table with those people. And you don't even have to be on that table anymore. You could be there and be yourself and chill and just relax. You know, people always, even at work, people are like, why are you always so happy? Why? Because this 9 to 5 is just a 9 to 5. I don't live that. And I don't have to be there to make it happen for myself. So I think wealth to me, and I know wealth to me means being healthy, getting away from the whole system that doesn't apply to my needs as a woman and as a woman of color. And I'm hoping that with our conversations, that we explain that and express it in a very genuine way, you know, that what we're doing every day, even when we go to the 9 to 5, we still come back home and learn the crypto and learn what's really out there for us, and stop talking about things that we already know what's wrong. Let's just work it out. And that's what wealth means to me. Having a cup so full that you can share that cup effortlessly. That's what wealth means to me.
Wow, that had been saying. She was like, not Cameron when nobody say. I'm just kidding. That's what I heard. I love it. I love it. When you said that, something went off in my mind. Wealth means wealth means being able to take loss as part of the game and not taking it as a loss of who I am. Still being whole without stuff. You know something I realized at some point, and this is not to say in any way that I have millions of dollars, but when I really started to begin to create a flow of finances, I didn't need half the stuff I was doing or buying. It's really understanding and being full and pushing away from the table. And now I'm not just doing it for me. I could do it for somebody else because I'm good. You know how, unfortunately, people are ravenous when they don't understand wealth. Wealth is not money. Wealth is having enough and knowing what that enough is. I'm like, oh my God, these people really just, they got enough. You don't need a mansion to have enough. You don't need to be able to go, at the drop of a dime to go to Paris. For me, it's sushi when I want it. You know what I'm saying? The option to eat the kind of food that I want when I want, which honestly speaking, I've gotten to points now to where even food is, I have enough in food. You know what the funny thing is? I want to cook because it's a challenge. I never wanted to cook. It challenges me. It challenges my mind. Wealth is having the time to read and learn something new, challenging myself. I'm taking Spanish. I actually avoided that in high school. I live in Spanish Harlem and I avoided it so much. I took French. Okay. Nothing I can use. And parlez-vous français un peu. Okay. Just like my Spanish, un poquito, but it's getting better. Okay. So when it just dawned on me, I've lost thousands of dollars, and I got rug pulled. I've gotten rug pulled. I've gotten scammed. I've lost thousands of dollars in scams. I lost a lot of gold. I think this company owed me 100 grams of gold. Do you know what I'm saying about that today? Oh well. Compared to where I'm going, that is not my concern. That was the part of the lesson. Now have people call me on the phone. I tell them, all right, I know that. That's wealth to me. Wealth is having learned something from your knowledge that tends to help. It actually helps your physical health. It sets your mind at ease. And nothing can rock you. And it's weird because you got people who are working steady jobs. I have no day job except what we do now, what you on with right now. And I don't just keep it going. I manage everything here. We're doing very well. When I say doing very well, tell you right now, I don't have years of a pension that grew for me. I had to create that in the last 5 years. When it is time for me if I get ill, I now know, thank you, because of the network, I have funding going into another plan for that. That's wealth, baby. And anybody could do it. See, that's the difference. Wealth is not something that rich requires. Rich requires money. Wealth requires knowledge and activity. And that's what it means to me. It has been that is how I've known it. And I guess I got it from the people who got a lot of money. So I'll have a lot of money at some point. Just don't want it. I don't need it. I need more of this. I need resources. My need has changed, and D, I could tell you, I'm loving it because I know people who live at home. They don't live at a job. They live at home. They're young like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm surrounded by folks they ain't skipping bills. We're not eating ramen. People keep asking me, how do you know y'all eat shrimp? My cart looks very different than others. It's a lot healthier, but it's richer because I'm very particular about what I put in my body. While everybody else doesn't pay attention and they blow out budgets. I have a different value for the money in my budgets and where it goes first, so that there's always an abundance. That's what wealth means. I'm sorry, I always go in. Miss Daz, thank you. Did I answer your question?
Yes, indeed.
All right, sis. I'm just excited because I learned this from a lot of my Black Girls Do Crypto early in the day when we first put the organization together. And I learned a lot of this value. I got a lot of this value from them, listening to the sisters talk about their lifestyles. We have some sisters that shared things like, and everyone who comes to Black Girls Do Crypto's our monthly meeting, you get to share with people. We're gonna do work together. We're gonna do the work. So I tell people it's not for the light of heart. This platform is not for the light of heart, the faint of heart. You got to be ready. Either you're going to be sharing, you're going to be building, you're going to be talking to your sister, having your sister talk to you, being an ear. Everybody is of use. Because ladies, we are the ones who feed these families. I love my husband, the whole nine. I manage his check to the penny, not a problem. But you know who keeps the family rolling and eating and making sure things stay on time? Me. Because my eyes have to be, I have to, this is where the legacy gonna come out of. I love my husband, don't get me wrong. He gotta do his own thing. We are not one mind. I didn't marry him and lose the rest of my brain. That's just not what happens. I am always going to be who I am. And that's what we're going to work with our ladies to remember, remind them, and always support that. We want you to be in a place where we're not on that level. We're on the level where we're not even on the level we're on. We're always a step ahead. And that's where we've always been. I love it. Black Girls Do Crypto was the best thing we came up with back in the day. And all we did was show up for a Zoom. Be really honest. Back in the day, there was very few classes. All the classes were on P2G, and we just showed up for a Zoom, and we had a ball. So we're gonna have a ball again. Only we're gonna unveil some things. Let's get it popping. So our next question. That's me. I gotta ask a question. How'd you ladies get here? How did y'all get here? Look at Wanda. Guys is laughing. Wanda's like, oh, wait a minute.
Man, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you so,
not to Black Girls Do Crypto, but how did you get in this thing called Web3? Go ahead, tell your story, girl.
It was June 19th. Okay, psych. But anyway, no, so it's quite interesting. I actually was on a spree of getting banned from a lot of places. Let me explain. I was kicked off of some traditional social media platforms, and I was banned from every payment processor that you know. And this is my introduction into cryptocurrency. Because I discovered blockchain social media, so I wasn't being censored, and I can do what that's what I love about this space is the engage and accumulate part, like being able to do the everyday things that we do and be able to accumulate at the same time. And then I had clients that were in other countries. And so my clients in other countries were having issues with paying me, which hence why my payment processes were getting banned. So I ended up needing to accept crypto. But to take it back a little step further, why I started even teaching in this space and wanted to be able to just, like I said, education and exposure is because you don't know what you don't know. I didn't know no better. I just was hearing about a currency that was going to grow in value. This was not, so when I came in, my introduction was not a real coin. I got into a scam coin that wasn't even on the blockchain, but I didn't know no better at this time. So I had $500 worth of a coin that I couldn't even transfer out to Bitcoin or anything. It was on its own blockchain, straight up peer-to-peer network. So yeah, I had to take that on chin, learn to be able to spot those type of things and what the real difference of what a currency was. But I operated in that space for solely, like 2-3 years, because one, that was the only way I could accept money for until I got my accounts back in a good standing. And it was the only way I could market my businesses online because I was banned. So that's how I got into this space, is the freedom and flexibility.
Girl, I can only say I identify. And yeah, what was that? Because I think I might have had some of that. My first time in Bitcoin and crypto. There was even no coin. I'm gonna be honest. It was something called packages. I bought crypto packages with no real use. I mean, I ain't know nothing. I learned my lesson. But yeah, been there, done that. And Miss Salty Coffee in. How did you get here, girl?
Like everything else, I just stumbled and rolled in. I think for me, a little bit, I didn't know anything about crypto, anything. The one main thing that I was very aware of is the traditional, investing, right? And I've done good with that. So following people like, there's a gentleman that does black business, something, I forget the name, but I don't even remember his name right now. But I was following him, and he was just showing people the traditional, you add $5 to your investment, you do your thing. And I'm like, well, I'm already doing that. I've been doing it for 30 years. What else is new? Like, show me what's new. And then around 2020, when COVID happened, that's when I realized that there's this thing called cryptocurrency. And, I engaged in a lot of YouTube. I stopped listening to the celebrity stories and moved my way into like, okay, this is happening. Okay, our traditional investments is going to get messed up. What's going on here? So it took me about 3 years before I actually just started listening to people, and then listening to the people who were sharing their stories about being scammed. So I said, okay, hold up. And then I was introduced to Cash App, and that you can buy Bitcoin through Cash App. Everywhere that I went, they said it's legit, it's a real thing. So I was like, let me just do a little 20 here, 10 here. And I'm like, okay, all right. So that's as far as I went with it during that time. But then there was this thing called stereo. And I knew nothing about, there was a lot of people talking about it, but they were just talking. And it's like, that's not my lingo. So why am I in this room, or why aren't you explaining what you're talking about? Like the jargon for cryptocurrency has not, it's like listening to French. And you're like, what? So for me, it was a little bit more about listening to people, but listening also to real people. And then I bumped into this talk on the Stereo app with Breakfast with the Thomases. And I'm like, I want to eat. I want to know what they're eating. And then, I'm the type of person that I don't like to judge the title, because people, salty coffee, like, who drinks that? It has nothing to do with coffee. It's like Starbucks is coffee, but what is Starbucks? Like the name. And I'm sorry I mentioned that we should put some money into there. But so for me, Breakfast with the Thomases was my morning show, aside from Rashad Radio and everything. And then a lot of people from Sarah started fading away, because now, after post-COVID, now we're not getting our checks anymore. We have to go back into the workforce. Everybody now has to like get some money. And in that same time, I was still helping people who were laid off, who didn't want to take the vaccination, who just had to leave their jobs, and helping them on where to go for the resources for that. But who am I to talk about crypto if I didn't learn anything? Breakfast with the Thomases conversation brought me into crypto. But they brought more to it than just talking about it. They talked about like real things. What is a coin? What does it relate to gold? What is it? What is a blockchain? But they spoke about it not in the jargon of cryptocurrency. They talked about it on a daily basis of, why is the milk price going up? Why are we no longer drinking milk, but we're drinking soy milk? What's that all about? How is it that our global economy is forcing people to change their eating habits? Because we're no longer companies are no longer investing in none of that. So that's how I stumbled into cryptocurrency.
Well, you're so welcome to be in there. I'm just kidding. Like, it's a basket if you jumped in.
And then,
I love it.
And then
you're doing great, by the way.
Yeah, I remember
doing
you
very well.
saying, well, come to class. Here comes the class. And I was like, what's the secret here? Like, what's going on? Why is she so sturdy? No, on a honest label, on an honest description of cryptocurrency, for me, through P2G networks, it is a mindset thing. And that's why I want to really showcase the mindset part of all of this, so that people could understand that how to differentiate the scamming versus reality. And I think we're going to do great in this podcast for that.
I think this is going to be amazing for that. Exactly. Helping women and not just men and not just women. I had, so when sending out this invitation, we want to say thank you to all the women and the men who responded back to me. Because some of the men were like, I'm a man, right? I'm like, yes, and we need our brothers to do well with our sisters. I don't want any one of the piece of the family to know something that the other one doesn't. That's why we have such destructive households. We need us all on the same page, in the same accord, moving. We might move at different speeds, but you move, once you get the information, go at your own speed, but never be without. And that's where chaos happens. A lot of households exist in that space because you have folks that won't learn. You have some people who are married whose spouse they keep telling me, what I keep hearing about the women? Oh, my girl or my wife doesn't believe. I said, she believe in going shopping. What was the last thing your wife bought that wasn't food or necessity for the house? And they'll tell me, oh, she got her hair done. Oh, she like that, huh? Right now, those are becoming the least important things on your list as the incline of inflation and taxation, because they're raising them both. Don't you ever believe that while they're lowering taxes, that has anything to do with you and your job. Nothing to do with you and your job or your purchases, because your personal taxes are still being taxed the hell out of. They're talking about property and business taxes. If you don't own a house and you're behind don't own a business, you the one paying for that tax cut. So this, yeah, ladies, all my sisters, you don't believe in the brother that's trying to get this crypto information? You better jump in and get your own wallet, because I tell you this much, Mr. Thomas and I do not share a wallet. We stopped sharing a bank account some years ago because I truly believe in the mama wallet, separate from my husband's wallet. I hate to say it, but he always says, her money is her money. My money is our money. I still don't get it. I said, don't worry about it. It'll be all right. It'll be there when it's time. Because the fact of the matter is that we all have the same information. That's the one thing that is, just succinct in our household. No longer am I running a different race than my husband. He's got an option to run the next leg. But I'm not stopping mine. And ladies, who runs the world? How do you think they do that? I don't want you in there waving flags and stepping up and down like you doing something you're not. And I don't care what bag you get or what amount of cash you getting. Show me $10,000 and I'll show you that you're broke. Because I'll tell you, 10,000 for me is still rolling. I can't even tell you how much it's worth today. That 10,000 is one time, and it's going to take you to do something itchy and tricky to get it again. Trust, I am not going there. And I want my sisters to do the same for themselves. Recognize that a still bag does not move unless you move it. Our bag is constantly rolling on its own. It has its own wheels, and it has a worldwide support system. That's how you want your money coming in. That's how you run the world. Let's get it popping. All right. So, ladies, y'all ready to have some fun? What's going on? I'll talk about this. We can ready to talk about it.
Wanda, your host of the Coffee Podcast. Mark your calendars for the exciting 5th annual Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest, which will take place on March 31st, 2024, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This live event promises an abundance of enjoyment and an opportunity to win a generous prize of $200. Register today. The registration deadline is March 30th at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. The online registration form can be found on the official website of the Salty Coffee Podcast at www.saltycoffeepodcast.com. See you then.
See, now we get to talk about you. What's about to go down up in here? Talk to me.
Did Dazzle answer the question? No, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, she did.
You see, she's trying to get out of it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And let me tell you, I'm the type of person that since I was a kid, I've always been involved in all kinds of things. One of the Salty Coffee Podcast journey right now is getting healthy to understand that when I retire, right, I don't want to spend all of my money on medication and going to the doctor and doing all that stuff. So self-care Sundays with Salty Coffee is every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. But this Sunday, we're going to have the 5th annual poetry contest for a chance for you to win $200. And that's going to be March 31st at 11 a.m. through YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, our website, www.saltycoffeepodcast.com, and on Stereo app. We already have 2 people who registered for the contest, and that's kind of normal, but usually it's 5. But you still have the chance to register all the way till March 30th till 11 p.m. because I still have to do a background check to make sure that your poem is legit and that you are who you say you are, because $200 is a lot of money. So in addition to the $200, P2G will be sponsoring the course of your choice for financial literacy. And I'm excited about that. So aside from me losing 28 pounds in 4 months, that's the theme for March. March was, what did I do March? I did a 28 detox for March. So every Sunday I talked about that detox, how I was feeling. And so I lost 6 pounds to the 28 day detox. For April, the series and the episodes will be about yoga and weights. So with the understanding that I'm going to lose another 6 pounds. The objective of the overall Salty Coffee podcast for this season is how to lower my blood pressure, because that's the only thing right now that I'm going through. So those are the discussions for that. So when you want to learn a little bit more about your health and your money and why health is important when you're talking about cryptocurrency.
Yep.
Because if you're eating all the junk food and you're, drinking all the time or doing extra negative talk, it doesn't give you the opportunity to retain the cryptocurrency information.
Thank you.
So.
And I want to make sure I put it up here. There she is. That's her Instagram. Let y'all know it's going down. It's going down the 31st. This is tomorrow, y'all. Make it happen. Make sure you get in there
and come in and vote.
Yes.
If you're not participating,
yes.
Find out what people are doing. And I'm gonna tell the story of how the Salty Coffee Podcast Poetry Contest, which is the 5th one, how it started and why.
So what's up? Let's see. Can you hear that? I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so
we couldn't hear it, but that's
fine. No, that sucks. So it's okay, but I still, absolutely love how she does this. Now, what do you do on Monday nights at P2G?
Oh, and every Monday night, I teach you the mindset and introduce you to the Canva platform, because I think it's so important for people, sometimes, I don't know, and it's not being perfect. It's not about being perfect, and it's not about having, grammar correctly. That's not what it is. But the course for the introduction to Canva is for the opportunity for those people who can't afford these marketing people who charge you thousands of dollars to just get up on your website or show you how to do 10 million followers. And that's not what introduction to Canva is. A mindset of how to build your brand, who you are, show you who you are, and showcase your business in a very professional way. And that's every Monday at 7 p.m.
Absolutely. You register on p2gnetworks.com, because I'm not kidding you. It's time. Start getting some branding for your business. That video you saw was created with her Canva, and so much more can be done. I know this because I've been a student, and I love the work I've created. And I've been getting compliments, by the way. Thank you very much. I was like, oh, get Wanda's class. And Miss Dazzle, are you doing your thing this week? What you doing? Actually, when are you not doing your thing? I just thought about that. This woman got it on autopilot. I was like, yeah, because if I can't make it, I'll make it. I still can make it. Go ahead, baby.
So every week we have a variety of classes that are happening in the Winners Tribe. We have Intro to Crypto, AI, tax details. So that's on a regular basis, and you can find that inside the Winners Tribe, which is on the What Dads Do website. And coming up here, April 18th through April 21st, we are going to have the Winners Tribe 420 experience here in Denver, Colorado, where we're going to have 9 instructors over the course of 3 days, a lot of different subject matter. So we're going to have crypto, we're going to have smart contracts, we're going to have tax deeds, we're going to have truckless coins, we're going to have storage units. It's a lot. It's a lot. On top of, we're going to have a NFT music showcase. So the winner is going to receive a 5K deal with Royal Money Entertainment and be able to get their music published onto the blockchain. So yeah, that's what we have coming up. I'm pretty excited. It's an annual event that we do every single year. Yeah, and it's super amazing. If you click up at the top, you can hit the menu and click the 420 experience. Oh, I didn't just the link out. Yeah, okay.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, it will still go to the tickets. It doesn't go to the main site. I'll switch that out. But yeah, if you use code Denver, it'll be able to save you some coins. All caps. Use code Denver, and it will save you some coins.
All right. And I saved my coins because I did it early. I was not playing. I got my discount and my tickets. Baby, I am so excited. I will be at that 420 event. I'm so excited about the stuff that I am. I'm not trying to get too deep into it. Y'all need to go to the website. That's just how it go down. Simple as that. I ain't getting away nobody business. I'm telling y'all, these ladies are really changing how the world works. And it's not just for the ladies. Gentlemen, you are available. All of these classes are available to you. We need strong leadership from 2 parents in a household or in a family. If you're an uncle, you are another parent in that space. You can join this with your sister. You can join this with your aunt, your niece. You can join forces. We want to see your family thriving together. And with ours, I mean, my family, I can't say all of them are in. A lot of my family still, they still give me that, oh, she's talking about that crypto stuff. And now some of them got wallets with crypto that's been going up and they calling me like, oh my goodness, Ruby. And you know what? I'm loving it because all of that exposure opens their mind to where the world is going. And I always remind folks, I'm not following anybody. I'm watching for the movements of the people who manage, who own all of this. See, I'm not watching the masses. I'm looking at the masters. And when they make moves, that's when I make my adjacent move. That's checkers. That's chess, not checkers. Y'all stay off that checker plate or that checkers game. We need to make moves and counter moves and already have some moves to make. And you only get that when you learn something new, when you discover things that are outside of your normal learning pathways. We are exposing folks and becoming more exposed. That's why I told you we're going to get together in Denver, y'all. Power in the house. And learn some new things. You know what I'm saying? Meet some new people. Get together with each other and change the world. I'm so looking forward to the Black Girls Do Crypto event for 2025 because this year we're going to be planning 2025. We are going to meet. But first, we've got to get our sisters in the house. We've got to get our sisters able to pay for your ticket, get your room, and go relax because you did the work, girl. So I already see y'all. I see y'all, all of you. It's about 20,000 of y'all going to be there. I can't say where we're going to have this event, but it's exciting to know we're going to need to get a lot of room. So for those who would like to join Black Girls Do Crypto, the organization, we thank you for joining us tonight and at whatever time you are watching this episode of Black Girls in Web3. This podcast will be available to you after this time, after today, on several different platforms. But you'll first find it on P2G. I'm going to make sure it's available there. And then Miss Dazzle would teach us how to monetize it so we can pay for our organizations. And you do the same. We're going to, what we learn, we teach. You understand? And what you teach, you can get paid to teach. What you learn, you can get paid to teach. You get that, right? That's the benefit of learning something new, especially when only a few people know. I've been in tech for almost 12 years. Oh God, getting old. Been in tech for almost 12 years. Trust me, the world has changed and it has been nothing but a benefit to know technology. And most people don't. So it pays me to share what I know with them. Ladies, I want to tell you I am truly grateful to you. And I'm so glad that you've taken this on. I asked you if this was something you wanted to do. I'm just like, I didn't think, I asked a lot of ladies if they would join me. And everyone has their own, they have their own reasons. I don't hold anything against anybody, and they're always welcome. Because a sister will join you when it is her time. Like the teacher shows up when the student is ready. That's how that works. When sisters are ready to come in, then they see what we're really here for. With this organization will grow. And there's a lot of folks. I've been talking to some ladies. There's a lot of folks out there like, what you mean there's an organization for women? We got a lot of uplifting organizations, but they have an agenda for them. Our agenda is you. Our agenda truly is our sisters. And I'm really excited because I only have power when I have powerful people around me. So let's get it popping. Ladies, tonight we are going to kick off. And question, next week, who would you like to, let's throw it out there. Each of us get one person. Who would you like to see on the show? We get to do interviews. So who would you like to see on the show? Go ahead and throw your sister's name up.
I'm definitely wanting to see Natasha Johnson for sure.
What is Natasha Johnson does what?
She's an attorney. She's an advocate. She's been in TED Talks. She's been a Columbia alum. She's a lawyer, attorney. Did I say lawyer? She's a training international attorney.
Okay.
And she's done so much, not just for the community in here in New York and Brooklyn, but she goes beyond. She's created her own app right now. And she's definitely a person that I've been following for years now, personally. And, I know her personally. And she's amazing. And I definitely have to send you her information because I definitely, not necessarily next week, but for sure.
In general, who do you want to see with the next shows and stuff? We'll book out. What about you, Dazzle? Anybody you want to bring on? A sister you want to pull up?
Yeah, definitely. Dr. Tony, she's doing some amazing things in this space. As far as with the AI, being able to do the business credit, as well as he has a unique NFT that actual participants of the Winner's Tribe experience get airdropped. So yeah, I think it'll definitely be good.
I'm sorry.